Oh, what is going on, everybody? My name is Japes. We're back with another episode of My Path to Power. I think are we on episode number 7? I want to say we're on 7. We've been aggressive. Really aggressive in getting this show on the road. We're going ahead and keeping on with this Brazilian side and going to be heading on into a match right here. This guy, he's got Lewandowski, best player that we've come up against so far. That wasn't in the draft mode. Obviously, in the draft mode, we dabbled against some Ronaldos and some Messis and some legends, and that's just kind of how draft seems to go, which is fun. But seeing Lewandowski in here, I thought, all right, now we're up for a challenge. But he did something that I don't like generally to see people do, and it looks like he sacrificed the balance of a lot of the rest of his team for one player. I'd imagine that Lewandowski is by far the most expensive player on the team. This is Giuliano doing what he does best, and I'm ready to get hyped because we got the hocus pocus, and it came off so well when you incorporate a 5-star. That probably is, without question, my favorite skill move in the game. It's one of my favorite ones to do. It is relatively useful for a change of direction, and when you actually get it at a funny angle like that, not just coming in from the sideline, you just feel so good about your skilling game, and that's why having 5-star skillers is really kind of exciting, and so... You'll see what happens because of that a little bit later on. But that was just a great little goal there. Nice use of the skills. And I'm like, all right, maybe could I be once again think of myself as maybe a skiller? Throw it a hocus pocus, McGeady spin, do all the skills. Elastico, and he's just, I mean, that green skittle, that A button, that contain is pressed firmly down. He's not even biting on my off the ball dribbling. Look at this. He just won't bite in. Then he closes the space, a little scoop turn. Somehow, it is Jefferson that slid free inside, unable to finish it, but Alexander Patso there, the far corner for the rebound. Thought that was just like a really funny goal to score, and I thought I fancied myself a skiller, and then he just like contained, and I was like, well, I guess I'm going nowhere quickly, and kind of waited, and it was a little bit of a Mexican standoff, but a goal came of it, so happy days. I am all smiles as he starts to rush forward here and just gets it taken away. And that's where the game's going to come to a close. So not a bad look. We're doing really well in division so far. We haven't really had, while we haven't been winning by a ton, I'm still getting used to kind of finishing and what I can and can't get away with. I do this a lot of times at the early parts of games. I try to score, well, I eventually score by basically walking it in. My shooting and my finishing isn't quite on point yet. I'm sure you guys know this as well. You go through some of the growing pains, kind of trying to figure it out. You almost need that like separate account that you just don't care about the record on or anything like that, where you can try all the things that you want to try just to get used to it. We did have some players, which is ironic that I just quick sold Lucha Gonzalez right there. You're going to see why in just a second. It ends up being, I end up losing 50 coins on the irony of that, but Pastore did sell on. And it's kind of ironic that I sold Pastore as well. And some of you guys will be getting the theme, but we did get quite a few coins for him, so I was pretty pleased with that. I went out and I thought, all right, we're going to replace the Danilo Diaz. And this Osvaldo character looks to be really nice. He's got 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot, lots of pace. And I could use a little bit more pace on the counter. Decided to sell on the French team because this Brazilian team was just that much more fun to play with. And they're my number 1 team now. So I don't want to use that French team as or the League 1 side as a fitness squad. I thought I could build a cheaper one, and I thought I could build one that was maybe a little bit more fun. Maybe not necessarily cheaper, but one that was more fun for me to use. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and sell on all of these players. Takes a little bit of time, and for the most part, I'm going to make a couple hundred coins here, a couple hundred coins there. Could lose 100 coins or so a few times, but I'll be able to discard all of these guys for about their value for the most part, which is great. I mean, that's exactly what you want in a starter team, or exactly what a starter team really is for the most part. Now, it's great if you can invest in some players that are going to appreciate and value because you're going to feel really good about things. Like El Shaarawy was a nice little investment. I think I make about 1,000 coins on him, so not too shabby. I could have sold him for probably a higher by now, but that's okay. So go ahead and get all these guys up, and they are indeed selling on. So you can see probably from the theme right here. And I actually go out and I put bids on a lot of those Gaetans for 1,000 coins. And that's because I saw a bunch of them sell earlier for like 1,900 coins by now. So I thought, okay, it's just that time of day or that time of night when they really aren't selling that much. So I'll go ahead and throw out the bids on them and then put them up overnight. And it's one of those things that I haven't talked about in a long time, but it's one of my favorite trading techniques. You bid on cards when people are opening lots of packs, and then you put them up for buy nows overnight when people don't have the patience. They want the cards then and there aren't that many up on the market, and you tend to make a little bit of profit. And that's just really how the cookie crumbles and what it boils down to. We're trying to pick up Mustachio here for, I think I was trying to pick him up for like 750 coins, ended up finding one as a buy now for 900 and was like, well, that negated some of my other French League One profits, but that's a-okay by me. Went to see if there are any special tournaments right now. There are not, so we're going to skip on that. Head back into seasons once we pick up this guy, Tan, which ticks and ticks and ticks all the way on down. Anyways, though, also, guys, leave me a comment. Let me know if there are any hidden gems that you think are out there so far that I should have to pick up. And there you can see all the bids on the Gaetans, thinking, I know how to play this game. It was similar to what we did with the Vietos before. At the very, very beginning, we saw I was able to pick him up at that point for open bids around 700. The selling for buy now is about 1,000. So, and it's just like a quick, easy way to make profit. If you ever notice that and you come back to buying a player, it's just mindless profit is what it is. So this guy, 4-3-1-2 side, using Iniesta, Amrabat, and Jackson Martinez up front. So he definitely spent his coins in the attack, and it's a pretty solid looking team as a starter squad for the most part. And obviously, he's got Jackson Martinez and Iniesta in there, which definitely are not starter players. But we head on in 53rd minute, so nothing to write home about, nothing happening in the first half. Working our way forward, excuse me. Nice turn there from Vieto, and he's going to have his outside back close in, give Salvio a little bit of free space, overruns it a little bit, and he buries it in at the far corner. So obviously the theme, we built an Argentine fitness-ish squad because some of the players are still expensive. I probably spent, well, not quite as much as the Brazilian team because that's largely down to one man, Alexander Pato, being 5,000 coins. So he's definitely our biggest name player right now. I might even put him up overnight for like a buy now 6,000, 6,500. I think he'll probably go down in price. I don't think he's going to be that rare. And once people get over kind of the uniqueness of using him again, I think you're going to see his price start to drop. Though Brazilians this year look really good and really fun, especially as like little starter teams get you going. Though now a lot of you guys, as the game will have dropped and played over the weekend, whenever you're watching this, the market's going to be in all sorts of it's probably going to be flipped on its head by this point. And I get asked all the time, it's like, Japes, when should I sell this guy? I don't know. If you want coins, it really boils down to this. Do you need coins right now? If yes, sell the guy. Do you not need coins right now and you want to play with them? Keep him. Do you think he's going to go way up in value and you still don't need coins? Keep him. And that's really just the way the market kind of works. It's like, do you need the coins? Yes or no? If you do, then sell him. If not, you can hold on to him and play the appreciation game. See if it works out. We barely kept it in there, Giuliano. And just showing off the skills as we've been trying to do this episode. And not my most clever skilling. This guy's still jockeying like a boss. But we eventually squeezed free a little bit of free space. And I thought I could like ball roll to the left and then ball roll past the slide tackle at the end. Not meant to be. Finds its way back to Giuliano though. And this time though, I'm going to just, whoops. You got sick of it. And luckily the rebound fell to Jairzinho right there. And we're able to tap it home. Made it 1-0 in the 32nd minute. I really just want to score another skill sequence for you guys. That was fun. The 5-star skill teams I think are going to be back. And I think I am not looking forward to the first match that I come up against versus a guy that is truly a great skiller, because I think it's going to be challenging to defend. Lovely goal there from Alexander Pato, beating his defender with a little, what is that? It's like a 180-degree stick movement from the right side to the left side. Whatever console you're on, that is how you do that skill move. I'm not sure. It's just like a knock over to the side, but it works out really nicely in this game. I've used it to beat players a few times, so I would definitely recommend thinking about trying to incorporate it into your game. There's the early cross, left bumper triple tap of the X button. Lovely run to the far post. I believe that's Giuliano again. And it is a brilliant ball. And that's a new crossing feature that I think would have been a really tough one to incorporate last year. And it just looks so good. It looks so realistic to me. So that put a 100% FIFA smile all over my face. I tweeted something out not too long ago as well that was basically like, I think you're going to see a lot of people get really, really frustrated with this game very, very quickly because the passing is not easy. And I think it's going to... you're either going to be forced to learn some more of these subtle intricacies that go around the sport in terms of, your body positioning and just all sorts of different things that you can and can't get away with realistically, versus just playing it kind of like an arcadey game. So I'm excited about it. I'm sure most of you guys on my channel are excited about it as well, because I tend to have more of a hardcore kind of fan audience, or an audience base that's trying to get better, loves the sport, and loves everything that kind of goes along with it as well. So I want to take this time to say thank you all so very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed it, a like or thumbs up is greatly appreciated. Other than that, my name is Japes, and I will catch you all next time.